if you were looking for a June wrap up, essentially I only finished one book in June. So we're going to lump it all together and do a June, July Pride reading, summer reading wrap up. So welcome to my July TBR. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week and then movie reviews here at the weekend. In the description box below you will find links to all of the books that I'm going to talk about today, as well as my social media links and my blog and my Goodreads. Yes, so I've got some July releases to talk about, which we may or may not get to. Apparently I've just developed hiccups. And then we've got some June releases that I missed, as always, and then some books that I'm in the middle of, including my non-fiction read that I'm still in the middle of. So technically I didn't achieve my goal in the month of June of reading a non-fiction book every month, but I read more than one in one of the other books in one of the other months, so I still hopefully will have read 12 by the time we finish the year. So we have a book here, meant to go to a book event for it, and then I couldn't go, and then I was meant to go to another book event for it, and then I woke up with a migraine. And so I am going to pick up the copy of the book that I'd already paid for at the first book event at the weekend. So whilst I would normally have read this for publication day, I have not yet. And this is Love Story by Lindsay Kelk. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you will know that I read and love everything that Lindsay Kelk writes. I have reread Lindsay Kelk, I have reread and reread Lindsay Kelk, and I would normally absolutely be going to the book event for this one, but then, you know, work is work, and then there was a general election, and then woke up with a migraine because work is work. So this one came out on the 4th of July in the UK, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It'll be a rom-com. I will laugh. Tagline: one small town bookshop, two sworn enemies. Sounds amazing. Just sounds brilliant. So definitely come back for that wrap up to see what I thought of that one. Might even make a reading vlog for it, because I'm basically picking it up next Sunday. So I'm like, well, we can just dedicate the rest of Sunday to reading that, can't we? Then there was also, I've pre-ordered this one on audiobook. We have Hiding Him by Adam Hatton. Adam Hatton is a Disney vlogger I have followed for a while. My Disney cruise that I did last year, that vlog, he was on that same Disney cruise. And so I did see him, and he has written a book, and I'm not sure what it's about, but I'm sure it'll be fabulous. And he's actually self-published it, so I was like, we're going to pre-order that one, we'll go for it. So this one came out on the 1st of July in the UK, and forms part of my July TBR. So I've got this one on audiobook ready to start reading. Then another book that came out in July that I may or may not get round to this month is the new one from Cheska Major, A Make or Break Weekend, The Change in Perspective No One Saw Coming. If I Were You. Again, Cheska Major's a little bit of an auto-buy author for me. Again, I've met her at multiple book events. I think she's fabulous. And so when I saw that this one also came out on the 4th of July, I was like, right, well, we'll download that one. So I have this one waiting for me when I'm ready to get to it, but hopefully during the month of July. And then another auto-buy author who I have been to multiple book events for, but again, like, didn't manage to make it to any book events because of work. And so yeah, so this one, it combines my love of this author with my love of the MCU, and this is Breaking the Dark by Lisa Jewell, which is a Jessica Jones Marvel crime novel. So I've not watched any of the Jessica Jones stuff. I've not read any Jessica Jones comics, graphic novels, anything like that. But I read the blurb for this one. I was like, this one sounds like it's going to be great. And it's a Lisa Jewell book, and it's come out in July, which I love. Sitting myself down and reading a Lisa Jewell July book. I normally make a standalone review video of the Lisa Jewell books that I read, so please do let me know in comments now if you would like another standalone review of Breaking the Dark by Lisa Jewell, because I would be more than happy to make that. And this one also came out on the 4th of July here in the UK. Then let's talk about a few June releases that I sort of missed. We have one that I pre-ordered on audiobook but have not managed to get to yet, because you'll find out in a minute that which audiobook I'm in the middle of and I'm really enjoying. And this one is I Love You, I Love You, I Love You by Laura Dockrill. I absolutely adore Laura Dockrill and I love her writing. I have only read, however, Laura Dockrill's middle grade and Laura Dockrill's YA writing. So I am very excited to read her adult writing. Again, I'm really not selling these books, am I? I have not read the blurb for this one because Laura Dockrill is an auto-buy author for me because she is fabulous and I love her. And I would read anything that she's written. So I'm sure it's going to be great and hopefully I might get to reading it this month. And that is why it is on my July TBR. This one came out on the 20th of June. Then we also have, that came out on the 20th of June, it went beyond my radar. And so I saw it in the supermarket literally yesterday. It was like, when did she come out with another one? Because there was a little break in the writing and then the Christmas one appeared. And then now we have Why Mummy Drinks on Holiday by Jill Sims. I actually love listening to these on audiobook, but I read Why Mummy Drinks at Christmas as a physical copy and it was just such a great time. I literally couldn't put it down. So I'm toying with physical copy versus audiobook copy of this one, but this one also came out on the 20th of June and I missed it and I just love this series. This is the 6th book in the Why Mummy Drinks series. It won't solve your problems, but it's worth a shot. I literally have t-shirts that say that. So I'm excited to read this one. As I say, I'm kind of toying with the idea of just doing a physical copy, so I've got one. And then speaking of physical copies that I have, let me put that down. We have, you can see where I am with this one. I did start it in the month of June because this one also came out on the 20th of June. 20th of June and 4th of July. Massive book release days this year. This one is Under Your Spell by Laura Wood. She isn't the only one that she only wants 3 things. He isn't one of them. I am 120 pages in so far, so I'm not even halfway through, but it is absolutely fabulous so far. I picked it up and I wanted to just keep reading and reading and reading. And as soon as I'm done filming this video, I am going to go back and continue reading and reading and reading. It is just your like classic rom-com, but it's involving a little bit of magic. Think practical magic. It's that style of like, it's magic, but it's believable. And do we really think it's magic? It reminds me a little bit of the sort of tarot card thing in Date with Destiny, which it was sat on top of. Similar colours. Interesting. Obviously the theme of the year 2024. I mean, they probably have the same marketing people anyway because they're both Simon & Schuster. But I'm really enjoying this one. I am partway through. It's one of the many books that I got partway through in the month of June, but this one was released on the 20th of June, missed publication day. But maybe I can get to it in July. Who knows? 2.5 more weeks of work. We can do this. We can absolutely do this. Then, speaking of books that I am partway through, we have my non-fiction read for Pride Month that I am partway through, hadn't finished, and that is the Book of Pride, which is put together by Mason Funk, founder of the Outwards Archive. And this is essays from LGBTQ heroes who changed the world, literally, is what it says on the front cover. It's been really interesting so far, and it's been a really good one to be able to pick up and put down because you can listen to an entire essay and then be like, right, okay, now I need to go to work. And so, yeah, it's good from that point of view, but I didn't finish it. So this is my book I'm partway through, but also my non-fiction book for July, which is partly why I'm doing a June-July wrap-up because it was started in June and it's my non-fiction read for June, but it'll now be for June and July. And then the kind of the semi-reason, I can't find the picture now, the sort of semi-reason that I only read one book in the month of June was because I was listening to this audiobook, and this audiobook is just so incredibly long. And this is My Favourite Mistake by Marian Keyes, which came out in April. And I started in May and I continued reading in June, and I am now still continuing reading in July. I listen on double speed and I think I've still got about 3 hours left. So even listening on double speed, it is a long book. Marian Keyes does do a long book. However, I am really enjoying it. And it's like we keep sort of flashing back and forwards, which Marion Keyes again has done recently, but we're just catching up with the Walsh family. So I don't care, because I get to catch up with my sort of favourite fictional family. And I love that. And this one centres around Anna, who we have had a book centering around Anna before, but this kind of catches up with her later. And I just hope Marion Keyes never stops writing about the Walsh family, because I just love reading about them. I absolutely love reading about them. And I just love Marion Keyes' sense of humour. And this one also tackles perimenopause as well, which I am finding very interesting. And then, just for good measure, because, you know, why not? I was browsing my Amazon Video, currently binge watching Frasier, and this popped up, and I was like, wait a minute. No one told me they were making a series out of this book that I enjoyed, and this book, which I have talked about on this channel as well. And again, a bit like the theme of the rest of the books in this TBR, I met these authors and I loved them, and I had an amazing time at the event. It's probably the book event where I have laughed the most. And, you know, Lindsay Kelp book events are very funny. Marion Keyes book events are very funny. But the book events with these three authors, I laughed at the most. And it would be a reread. I thought I owned it. I do not own it. So I've downloaded the audiobook from my library. But this one is My Lady Jane, which is a series on Amazon now, apparently. Who knew? Nobody told me. But I really enjoyed listening to this one when I first started listening to it. It was recommended to me by one of my librarian friends. And then we buddy read the next two in the Lady Jane series. And this is by Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton and Jodie Meadows, and that event was so funny. And I have a video talking about these books on my channel. Unfortunately, I didn't like the Mary series as much as I liked the Jane series, but this series was fabulous, and I am so ready to re-listen to My Lady Jane again. And I can't remember if it's a horse or a mouse that pops up in this one, but I'm excited for it. And yeah, I really thought I'd read it, but it's a YA book, but I'm not sure if it's a YA series. So if you have actually read the series, watched the series, please do let me know. Is it a YA series or is it an adult series? Because the cover looks a little bit scary. But yeah, also, why did no one tell me that this was coming up? Like, I've talked about the book on the channel. Somebody needs to let me know these things. Like, I only have time to watch like an episode of Frasier with dinner and an episode of Love Island with breakfast. That's all I'm watching at the minute. So, yes, please do let me know what you are reading in the month of July. Did you manage to read more than I did in the month of June? I really hope you did, for your sake. And just because, you know, I want people to be reading, so I can have some FOMO. Missing out 100%. Yes, I will be back with more bookish content for you very soon. I have a book versus movie video that is going to be the next one that you see. And I will also be back with movie reviews for you at the weekend. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on those ones. And yes, I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.